suit maker, and his suits are worn by corporate executives, ambassadors, even presidents. How do you get to that level? John Martynec, welcome to the Language of Business.
Thanks for having me.
You are the CEO of Southwick. How long have you been in this position?
I've been in this position 5 years now.
And where did you come from professionally before that?
Originally, I spent 28 years with the Hickey Freeman Company in Rochester, New York.
And what caused you to come to Southwick?
The ownership that bought this factory decided they want to invest in made in USA, domestic manufacturing. And they asked me to join this organization because I have a belief that there's ability to manufacture clothing in the United States.
What is the difference between Southwick and Brooks Brothers?
Southwick and Brooks Brothers are synonymous with traditional American clothing. Both very great organizations. Southwick has been manufacturing clothing for Brooks Brothers for many years, but both stand on equal terms based on the products that they make and who they sell to.
Do you only manufacture for Brooks Brothers, or do you also have other private label brands?
Well, we manufacture for Brooks Brothers predominantly. We also manufacture our Southwick brand, and we manufacture for a slew of different companies in the United States. A lot of designers or companies that want U.S.-made products. And we found out that there's a new niche out there for a younger consumer. And these younger consumers really are enamored with the products made in the United States.
And is that from social consciousness or something else?
More from social consciousness. And I think the younger consumer now, they want to understand if your factory is green, if you're socially compliant, and they are more in tune with the manufacturing process than I was at their age.
And where do you draw your labor from?
Our labor is predominantly from the Merrimack Valley. We have people from the local area. We have people from Lowell, from New Hampshire. So we pool from an immigrant workforce. Predominantly it's immigrant workforce, and we work with Catholic charities as far as finding refugees and helping them assimilate into our workforce as well.
Is English the only language that's spoken in your factory?
We speak 15 different languages.
15 different languages?
But we offer English as a second language 4 days a week, and we teach our employees English as best we can.
And how do you deal with the perennial 800-pound gorilla in the room that U.S. labor costs are higher than they are overseas?
They are higher. But the thing is that direct labor is a value add. Where it costs you more money is indirect overheads, things like that, and we use technology to help us offset those costs. It takes 185 minutes to make a jacket in the United States or in the Far East. It's just what you pay your employees. So knowing that they make a livable wage, they have good benefits, there's a value to it. It might not be for everyone, but a lot of people like the fact that they can buy their clothing made in the United States.
And how about your fabrics? Are they all American made as well?
Predominantly the fabrics come from England or Europe or Italy. But we're recently starting to work with a company about making fabrics again in the United States.
As a U.S. manufacturer of clothing, you are bucking a trend. Do you find it helps or hurts you not to have a peer group immediately surrounding your operations?
I don't think so. I think we compete on a global scale. It's not regionalized anymore. And I think what's happened, the world has gotten so small that you can talk to your retailers, so you can talk to manufacturers, you can talk to different people in this industry. And I think there's enough there that we can understand what we're up against, how we have to deal with things based on legislation.
What sorts of legislation affects you?
Well, duties. You're looking at how can you help with reducing tariffs on things. We're looking at possibly turning our factories into duty-free zones, which will help us from a standpoint of importing and exporting products. It will help us open up a gateway that not only are you making for this country, but making it more of a global organization.
How do you deal with transportation costs?
Transportation costs, it can become difficult, but probably it's much better shipping here via UPS or FedEx than shipping it another method from overseas.
But let me push back. If you're importing from overseas, you might be ordering 500 or 1,000 suits per batch. My guess is that you're not sending that volume to a West Coast retailer.
No, but also what you can do by manufacturing in the United States, you don't have to buy 500 per batch. You can buy smaller numbers. And I think that's our advantage of making in USA. So if you don't sell through all 500, that cost of carrying that inventory, is it really a savings or not? So I think that's where you kind of look at what the additional upfront cost is, as opposed to not having too much obsolescence.
As businesses grow, they've got two options. They can expand into other locations or outsource their workforce. How has that affected you here at Southwick?
Well, what has happened here at Southwick is that there's a reinvestment in young professionals. We know that this industry has been decimated by going offshore. Finding someone in their mid-50s is still a young person in this industry. So we've reached out to different colleges, engineering schools, and we're bringing people on board, mentoring them to be the future leaders of this industry.
What is the average employment tenure here?
The average employment tenure, we have people that have worked here over 40 years, and some as recent as just a few months. But we view our people as our biggest asset. It's easy to invest in a facility, easy to invest in equipment. The people is what is key, and that's what's important here, is investing in the people that they can learn this craft and take it into the future.
If you had to start Southwick from scratch today, would you do anything differently?
Well, that's an interesting question. You know, and I think we've had a very good recipe with what we've done. It's always changing. So I think the only investment or change that we'd probably do is in our mindset, because you have to keep an open mind. In manufacturing in the United States, it's all about what you can do and not say why you can't do it.
And what's an example of what you can do?
We can do anything. That's our philosophy here, is if you can think it, you can do it. And that's what we live by.
John, thank you very much.
Thank you.
John Martynec, the CEO of Southwick, here in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
An alphabet soup of financing options. VC versus PE versus S1 versus hedge. Next time on The Language of Business.